Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our session. We know that we share every week about different secrets, different revelations, and of course, different cosmic opportunities. We know that this last Thursday, until the 9th day of the month of Leo, which is in a couple of weeks, these are 21 days. They call these 21 days are very, very powerful days. They are actually, each one of them is equivalent to almost like all the holidays, the high holidays throughout the year. So just to understand, it's a very powerful time. It's a very strong time. But we as vessels, we are not equipped to handle that direct energy. So therefore, like the Kabbalists even say, that it's almost like there's lack of ozone layer in this world right now. So everything is intensified. So to be aware of that, every, let's say, event or spiritual event or portions of the week or the new moon of Leo or consciousness that you studied this week about these 3 weeks help you to awaken protection, to use these days in a much better way, in a much stronger way for our spiritual progression. So this is the opportunity. It's called the Bein HaMitzarim, the days that are historically. Let's talk about historically the two temples, right, in different periods of time, destroyed right in this time. It says coincidentally, right? The Jerusalem walls was breaking, right? The golden calf in the desert in that time, the spies in that time. What else there was? So many other occurrences that happening in this time that mostly also it's fall in the month of Cancer, and then 9 days in the month of Av, Leo, which is, we know Leo is fire and we know Cancer is water, right? How do you combine water and fire? Obviously, or we call it in a pot, right? You put the water in a pot and fire underneath, so now they can serve each other, right? But you connect water and fire together, almost impossible to connect them together. So therefore, this period of time allows us to bridge or to create that pot or that security shield, not to be burned by those energized days, or to be so emotional and closed off from the days of Cancer. This week we have a couple of portions that are connected. It's called Matot-Masei. I'm going to share with you a very fundamental teaching of Kabbalah. And this teaching is true for the entire year, but they coming from this week's portion. And it's important to awaken that. Maybe many years ago I shared few ideas of that, but obviously this is a very important time in what we're talking about in those 3 weeks. The name, obviously, Matot, the staff, or Mate is also headquarter, right? And Masei is journeys, journeys. Obviously, these portions as a combination, these two powerful, messages that we can all awaken here. The big picture of the first portion is the consciousness that each one of us holding a staff. What is a staff? You know, like the picture of Moses in the desert with a staff, with a stick, walk around, you know, represent leadership, right? But obviously, Matei, it's also come from the word lehatot, to divert, right? To divert, to direct, right? Each one of us is in charge in directing our life, directing and navigate where the light wants to be revealed. Be the channel of where wisdom needs to be ignited. You see someone, you see something, it's your opportunity to direct, navigate, and help to lead and direct it to the direction of light and revelation. Obviously, in one moment need protection, in one moment need excitement, one moment need to pause and wait, one moment need to join others, in one moment you need to just meditate. In many, many moments, it's the staff in your hand. So obviously, everything that comes to your life, everything that appear in your life is for you to navigate it, is for you to elevate it, is for you to reveal from it, and nothing to do with somebody else. If it's in your path, you hold the staff, you can direct it. If you don't hold the staff, meaning if you say, I don't have control over my life, I don't know why me, if you live like as a victim, if you live life as like things happening to you, for sure you don't have a staff. Even if you're going to hold the staff, it's not going to move anywhere. Things happening for me, this world coming towards me. What people do? Running away. You run away, he's going to chase after you. Face it. Hold the staff and know that I have a reason why that appear in my circle. And my job is to awaken and learn what it is. So that's the big picture. Now you take the Masei, the journeys that the next portion is bringing us. Each one of us is on a soul journey from the moment of creation until the final tikkun. It might be 60 of them, thousands of them, one of them, it doesn't matter how many. It's this journey of your soul. Now we know, and from these weeks, there are 42 journeys to every soul. Now within a journey, it might be many, many different, ups and downs. Maybe one journey you up, and when the next journey you down. In one journey you shut down, in one journey you awaken, in one journey you are the second in command, in one journey you are first in charge, or the last one, right? In one journey you are the child, in one journey you are the grandfather. In one journey you're poor, in one journey you're rich. So never fall into what appear in your life today and be in complete disagreement. You should be only in disagreement when you don't really get the message of what the journey is about. But wherever you are today, you have to understand it's part of your journey. And it never meant to stay this way. You've been given a staff first to control your journey. So how do we control the journey? How do we stay in control in our journey? And of course, you know that most of us, don't have the tools to stay connected on a journey. I'm not talking about life journey. I'm talking about sometimes you are in and out in a lifetime. Okay? So remember, It's never a need to die and come again. In one lifetime, you can do all the 42 journeys. I'm going to give you a technique that you can learn how to observe and how to discover, reveal, understand what is the journey, what are you facing in that particular moment. In life, or let's put it this way, the purpose of our life is to what we call in Kabbalah, and again, we spoke about it, and it's important to understand that the deeper is what we call elevating sparks. Each one of us is a spark. Is a spark that shine constantly. The only reason sometimes we don't see ourselves shining is because we have all kind of concealments, what we spoke before. We have all kind of like shutdown. We have things that going on through us and so forth. It seems like sometimes we shine, sometimes we not, sometimes we... But the light within us is always on. The spark within us is always on. How do I make sure that that sparks is constantly growing and expanding? Some of us is a bigger spark, smaller spark, weaker, and so forth. It's depend on what type of work you do with yourself. It's depend of how strong you're holding on the staff. What is the staff? I am responsible over my life. This situation, that journey, that path that I'm on right now, that road that I took right now is not a mistake. Imagine you driving and there's a detour. You didn't do anything about it. It's the universe make a detour to you. So what are you going to say? You're going to reject? No, I'm not going to the detour. Okay, stay stuck. Right? They're going to bring a police and tow your car. Right? You got to move. Go take the detour. You don't want, go back. We need to remind ourselves. If I hold the staff in my hand, I'm on the path. I need to remember. My purpose is to draw, is to what we call in Kabbalah, elevating all the sparks of light that belongs to my soul. Guess what journey, what is the 42 journeys? Is the 42 places that you have to go through, because there is a specific spark for your soul that is likable, that is in an equality with your soul, that you would have to go there. It might be through some kind of pain, some kind of void, some kind of fulfillment even, some kind of a food that you need to taste somewhere. There is always sparks of light around us. And obviously, in our journeys, they will start coming like magnet to you. But remember, they're not going to look as a spark or as an opportunity all the time. So again, most of the time, a lot of us need to remind ourselves that within a journey, right? We forget. Sometimes you wake up, we continue with the inertia. Sometimes we are, in the habits of doing things, and we forget. We became robotic, right? We kind of like autopilot sometimes. Comes this week's portions, this week's energy, and remind you, every single day, don't forget to focus on the journeys, not on the purpose, not on the destination, right? This comes from this week's portion, right? So let's see what happened in the journey. If you read the portion, interesting. He says, "Vayachanu vayisau." They parked somewhere and they travel somewhere. That's the whole conversation in this. They went from, let's say, from Egypt to the Dead Sea, to the Red Sea, I'm sorry. So, and they parked in this desert, and they drove, and they went to that place. It's always about, they go to here, they park here. Sometimes they park a day, 17 years, sometimes they just 3 days, whatever it is. To whatever necessary reason I was parking, let's call it in our life, and I'm going to speak about it a little bit more, but what determines how much you're going to get parking or how much you're going to keep going, it depends on you. Even if you're parking, it's still considered to be movement because there is a deeper and stronger light to be revealed there. Okay, so it's still movement, don't forget. But what's determined, it's how much can you elevate the sparks that are buried so strong, right? In a concealed way. Imagine, because a strong light, you cannot just put a regular curtain to cover it, right? When you go to these hotels or even in your home, if you have a strong sunlight comes every morning, you have these thick curtains to cover because you don't want so much sunlight to come into the room. There are many sparks. Some of them are buried deep inside, that required few days, few weeks, few years to dig them out. Like you see all the archaeologists, right? Sometimes they with a little brush for years, brushing like the bones, and finding. And sometimes it's years and years, right? So let's understand the process that needs to take place. The process is consistent with four levels. 4 levels. To elevate spark, it takes 4 different levels to elevate it. Okay? Let's understand what it means. Every time you meet a situation, let's call it a spark. Every time you're going to meet a spark. And again, let me give more description of how does it look like a spark. Spark might be, like it's going to make you feel like, no way, right? Or illogic, or it seems like not important, or it's so low, or, I have nothing to do with that. Every time you get those feelings, or this type of rejections from within you, that's what you need to look for, right? Sometimes when things become too comfortable, the sparks of light is not there, right? If, let's say for example, a lot of people are afraid to fight with their spouse or with their partner, right? No, I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to make some wave, right? Why? Because if not, that spark of light is buried, because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to jeopardize it. If you think that fighting, again, not fighting by diminishing each other, fighting for getting more connected, of course fight. Of course you have to have a fight for your relationship. If there's like everything comes so easy, the spark doesn't get ignited. Right? So obviously if I make it my life so easy, meaning it means that you're going down. Like we give the example, when you pedaling in a bicycle and it's become difficult, what does it mean? Hard to pedal. What does it mean? I'm climbing up. I'm going up. And when it starts being very, very easy, that you don't even need to pedal, what does it mean? You're on your way down. So remember, when things are difficult in relationship or in business or in a study of sort, it's because you're climbing up. Don't ever forget. So there are 4 different ways of how to elevate that spark, how to allow that spark to constantly be there. Study, education. I'll explain what it means. Understanding or clarity. Revelation or awakening. And action. Actions. Let's understand what it means. Education. Each one of us, what we call is the level of chokhmah, level of wisdom. I need to be constantly in consciousness of education or learning. Learning in a way of what? Every situation comes to my life as a teacher to teach me, to show me something, to show me what I need more, or to give me opportunity to create more, or to connect strongly. But sometimes it's even to give me way more than what I have. We all settle for so much less than what we came to receive here. We all, and I'm not talking about from a place of like greediness or stingy or all of that. I'm talking about from a place of desire. So the education is always about light. Universe wants to give me more. I just need to awaken what we call more wisdom of that type of reality. Everything that comes to me is consistent with a beautiful spark that wants to join me and expand my life more, expand the light in my life more. Remember, everything that comes to me is the creator of this world already sent it to me way long before I even came. Every situation and every technology that we are already experiencing, it's already been sent to us way before. We learn in Kabbalah, sometimes you give in one time and you receive in different times. A lot of us want to, if I give to that person, he needs to give me back. No. If I give today I need to have the miracle. No. Giving and receiving is completely separate. And for us it's very confusing. Right? So a moment comes to my life. I'm on a journey. And it comes to my life, it's because you want to give me more. That should be the lesson. I need to understand, what is it teaching me? To expand more here, to awaken more there, to share more here. But it's always about teaching me something in order to give me more. The second part that needs to happen is understanding, what we call bina. Right? In that moment, if you sit around and you observe the situation, like the first step, in the right eye, it's in my journey, there is a spark of light there, it's trying to teach me, trying to expand me, trying to give me more. But slowly, if you sit there in that moment and you constantly focus on that, then you get a little bit more observation or looking into, wow, now I can see something. You know, I just shared before, you know, like sometimes you with your friends, and let's say there's a crowd of people, and you tell him, oh, do you see what's certain names is over there? He says, wow, how can you see? I don't see. Where it is? And you start describing, so they see the crowd, but they could not look into where you are looking to observe what you're observing. And then you describe, go to the second line, the third row, sixth chair, boom, it's right there, right? And then you say, oh, now I can see. Sometimes you're staring at something. But if you need to awake, if you don't have the wisdom, sometimes it's so hard to observe or to focus on what needs to be the lesson there or what needs to be the expansion there. So, spark of light, as I said before, is the education. The second thing is clarity or observation, or start seeing a bigger picture of who you are, of what this world is about. What is the Creator doing with you, for you, every day? That's the second level that needs to happen. Okay? What does it mean? As a result of that, I want us to see that we become more aware of my environment, more aware of this world, more aware of what media and what does to me, or what type of media do to me. What is my purpose in life? You need to start being aware exactly what's the goal. This is the second level in the process of elevating spark. The third level is what we call Zir and Pim, what we call it revelation. You start to reveal, right? Start to reveal something. Wow. So the second level is like, wow, I can see it. I can see the potential right now from what I understood, from what I did. I start seeing. But then come the third level is what? Is to start realizing the power that you have in truth. The magic of who we are. The strength that we have. Wow, I didn't know I'm capable of that, right? I wasn't aware that I can do it, or I got stuck in my fear and then I realized, wow, it's not such a big deal, right? So this is the third step, is like when you start realizing that, you can do that, but you also, in the same time, in that third level, you need to realize that, wow, I'm thinking so small. Wow, I'm lacking muscles. I'm lacking enthusiasm. I'm lacking many things. But it's not just about like, oh, I don't have this, a victim. This is a true awakening of lack. Again, there's got to be, in the third level, got to be two things happening. You see the greatness, you see the opportunity, you start expanding your forces, you realize, wow, I can influence big time. Wow, I can do this. But it got to be in two places in the same time. One, what an opportunity. What kind of power. I can't believe the Creator gives me all of these blessings. The second part of this is to awakening the lack. What does it mean, lack? The Kabbalah is called lack. Is a foundation, right? It's foundation. Let's explain what it means. Foundation that the entire building is standing on. If I don't have a strong foundation, the building is not strong. So the strength of what you're building is dependent on how much lack you can observe and you can see and you can awaken. Because any lack that you awaken, it's a vessel for light to fill that. If you don't awaken lack, everything is good, I don't need anything, I don't want to grow, I'm okay, I'm this, I'm that. You're rejecting. And then eventually remember, from the law of the journeys, you would have to be expanded, not in a way that you like. It will be, quote unquote, forced on you. The third aspect in revealing sparks is to be in two places. Tremendous appreciation and awe-inspiring to who you are, what the Creator gave you in your life. And the same time, wow, I don't have enough of a vessel for that. I'm thinking so small. I'm wanting so small. I was thinking, I'm based on my old traits. I want a new, more. All the ideas were taken. You know how many of us, like sometimes everyone is taking. There's nothing left there. The shelves are empty. That's it. America is this, and Israel is that, and the world is this, and all kind of catastrophe. We have to be in two places. This is the third aspect. Because if you don't expand the lack, again, these 3 weeks, is to expand the lack, and you expand the foundation of how much you can grow. The fourth idea is to take action. What does it mean? After I see the two aspects in the third level, I need to start taking action, meaning what type of ways of work I need to change. In the spiritual work, I'm okay with just 1 minute reading a quote. Okay, let me change it. I need to take action that is a little bit performing to the world that I want bigger. Right? Planting seeds, as we say. Start working on my attributes. My patience, time to expand. My intensity, time to, soften. I need to sharpen my senses. I need to start, taking the time or looking which books you're reading. Looking how much time I'm spending in reading the news, which none of them is good, right? So I need to start changing the actions as well. Taking action in the direction of elevating spark, which is sometimes it's not a comfortable action. Most of the time, after you're doing those 4 steps and you take an action that is not comfortable action, it will ignite the entire vessel. All those levels will be like there's a huge explosion of energy because the 2 sparks are connected. So these are the 4 levels that I spoke about, and you can break it down into pieces so you can use them in a greater way. Now let's remind ourselves. There are, times that I'm vaisau, driving or moving, and there's times of parking, right? So in times of moving or things are going, like for example, the project started, the process started, the construction started, we start to dig the first well, whatever it is, or with who you're doing that, who is around that, how you're doing that. That's times of traveling, meaning you need to, how much you invested in the traveling. Parking, sometimes results or lack of results makes me fall into parking. Meaning I'm not moving, right? I got what I want, I don't move, right? Or I don't get what I want. Until I don't get what I want, I'm not moving. Either way. Or sometimes I feel stuck. In life, sometimes you stuck in a place because there's a spark that needs to be revealed. It's not doing to you, it's for you. So remember, So again, more in the idea of the sparks, we learned before. How do I awaken that spark? When there is equality of form, when there is similarity of form. A lot of us thought and thinking, I guess opposite attracts. Absolutely not. And I'm saying it many, many times. Only similarity of form. Only that which attracts. Like attracts like. Yeah, but there are nothing like me. Of course. That's what I told you. How it's going to look like. It's going to look like something against you or not like you, because the spark of light is connected there. Again, this is how it's always going to look like. Remember, you have to go through the circles of these 4 steps and awaken the message for you and grow from that. Another part, sometime when you are successful in having that burst of connection of these 2 sparks, this huge explosion of energy, a surge of revelation in your life, turn around and see how you can help others elevating sparks of light in their life. Again, you cannot do it for them, but you can share your experience and you can see and give them many different directions of what worked for you or your experience. Help them reduce the grip or the holding of negativity in their life by extracting a spark of light. They will be forever indebted for you. So obviously this week it's beautiful preparation. Next week around Thursday or Wednesday, it's the start the new moon of Leo. We're going to speak more about it next week. So stay tuned, share this please, and thank you for joining us.